there is something called mentorship, because many a times we think we know much, but we were born with nothing. The first thing that happens in someone's life is that you find your parents present or your guardians present. So, and you find yourself that you have to follow what they are saying, or you have to follow them until a certain age, where you will now decide to do your own things, because now you have known what you are supposed to do. It is the same with life and in business, that there is always someone who is ahead of you. And in this topic of mentorship is that you have to have a mentor or a consultant or a counselor who is ahead of you, or who is helping you to see the blind spots that you cannot see in your daily process of life or in business. You know, one thing in life is that we need someone to follow. You need a mentor, you need a counselor, you need a consultant, so that you're able to have someone to ask questions or to look up to for guidance. You know, when you find someone who is ahead of you in something, it is easy, because he or she is able to show you the way where you are supposed to go. Like, for example, if you are doing business, you find someone who has already done business and is successful. That person can show you the way in business. And also in life, you must always see people who are good to be emulated, and learn from them and follow their guidance and their counseling, so that you are able to achieve your goals. And today I want to tell you that the concept of mentorship is a very important concept in life. You cannot live without mentorship, because it is important for your own growth. Look, for example, if you want to go to Eldoret from Nairobi, if you find someone who knows Eldoret, it will take you only 4 hours to be in Eldoret. But if you don't know Eldoret and you go on your own, it will take you like 10 hours or even 2 days to reach there, because you'll find yourself going to Kisumu first, then to Eldoret, because you don't know the way. But if you have a mentor, a counselor, consultant, it is easy for you to ask for that road, and you'll be shown where to go. Within a short period of time, you are there. Like, for example, I know Eldoret. I can take you to Eldoret within 4 hours and you are there. But if you go on your own, it will take you a day or 2 days, because you don't know. It is the same with life and business, that there is always someone who knows where the road is. So if you find this person as a mentor, consultant, or a counselor, you are going to reach to your goals in a very short period of time. Look at this concept in the Christian theology. There is the main character, which is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ always tell his followers or his disciples that follow me and I'll make you. He said that is the way and the life. And he also said that he's going to take his believers to his Father's house, or to eternal life. That's an assurance from a mentor like Jesus. So when believers believe that and follow him, they will be able to achieve that eternal life in a very short period without very much effort. Counselor or a consultant is good, because you will use less time to achieve things that you need to achieve. You will use less effort, because they know already what you are supposed to do. So today I'm encouraging you to find a mentor, a counselor, or a consultant in everything you do in life and in business or in any job, so that you can be mentored to achieve your goals in life or in business or anything that you are doing. Without them, you might go beating around the bush, making so many mistakes, which will be very detrimental to your progress. So if you have one, it will be very easy, because you will follow the guidelines and even the advices, and you'll be able to achieve your goals, achieve within a a short period of time and also with less effort. That's the purpose of mentorship in life and in business. Then we end there.
Have you ever worked really hard for something that you wanted really bad, and once you had it, you weren't sure how you were going to be able to maintain that? There was a time in my life when I was in college, and all of the hard work I had put into enrolling in the school of my dreams almost came to an end. A pivotal moment that changed my future and the path that I was on. As a first-generation college student, fresh off the farm at a private university, I learned quickly that high school had not prepared me for the academic rigor of college. I struggled in my first year, taking classes toward a career in the sciences that I had convinced myself I was ready for. After failing chemistry my first semester, that first year of college, I was a little dejected. But I had an epiphany. If I took that same class the second semester, why wouldn't I pass it? Boy, was I wrong. When I failed chemistry that second semester, it was very clear to me that my future did not lie in the sciences. So to begin my second year of college on academic probation meant venturing into a new path. This time I figured business would be the route to take. Optimistic that my new major would lead to success, I enrolled in economics courses. 2 classes and 2 semesters later, I found myself in that same place, failing my classes and coming to a crossroad. Do I stay for another semester without financial aid and try and get my grades up, or do I transfer to the community college and finish my degree just to be done with school? Have you ever reflected on the successes in your life and wondered who may have been there to help you along the way? Sometimes I think we feel we reach our victories alone, but if we think really hard, we probably find that there was someone there pushing us along the way. Mentoring is so important because of the impact it can have on an individual's life, but also your own. In fact, studies out of Johns Hopkins suggest that when adults mentor young people, there's an effect on the ability to prevent and delay declining brain function. There's something about mentoring that just makes you feel good. Now, you can be an intentional mentor, meaning that you seek out opportunities to help others grow, or perhaps you fall into the unintentional mentoring category, being a mentor and not even knowing it. I've had many mentors in my life, both professionally and personally, mostly intentional, others not. But think about that. Have you ever mentored someone and not even realized it? Maybe you were advising or leading by example, and you never saw the results of that mentoring. I've learned along the years that our actions and our behaviors give us mentoring qualities, but you don't have to be old to mentor. Young people can mentor too. Some of my favorite moments have been when I've been able to connect with students that have impacted my life and realize that something in our passing helped them grow and succeed. I love reconnecting with those students after the years have gone by and learning that our relationship impacted their future. Now, I don't want you to confuse mentoring with being a role model. Role models can also lead by example. But as we've seen in the media, role models can go from good to bad. Mentors have the ability to lead in just about every situation. So when I came to that crossroad in college, when I had to choose between staying and going, it was my work-study supervisor, Darlene, and her husband, Rich, who mentored me. They helped me see what I couldn't see in myself. I clearly remember that night in their dining room talking about my options. They gave me the tools to make the right decision. All along I had possessed these tools. I just didn't know how to use them. I'm not sure if they realized how much their mentoring changed my life, but it's given me many opportunities to give back and help others utilize their tools on their journeys to success. I came back junior year with a new focus. I found my passion in serving others and a curiosity for learning of other people and other cultures. I majored in sociology, and I had a way better GPA when I graduated from college. My true passion. I continued on to get my master's in educational leadership and look forward to pursuing my doctorate very soon. One day of mentoring can change one life forever.
I've had a lot of mentors in my career. Many of them were paid, a few of them were free. The point of a good teacher is that the student does pass the teacher. I see this thing that happens all the time. When you're a kid and you learn arithmetic, first you learn your numbers and then you learn how to add. You level up and you learn how to multiply. And then you level up from there and you learn algebra. When you get to algebra, you don't think, man, my arithmetic teacher was a idiot. I can't believe they didn't teach me this stuff. It's like, dude, you weren't ready. And you had to have the arithmetic in order to get to the multiplication. And it's not that that teacher was an idiot, it's that that was the sequence. And so when you have a first teacher that teaches you the basics and then you have a more advanced teacher later, it doesn't mean you should shit on your first teacher. It's like that person got you ready to receive the next thing. Earlier on in my career, I definitely did the other way. This guy didn't know anything, this guy is the guy. Rather than seeing it like you would see any other thing that you'd have in school. I've had the opportunity and the gift of being able to mentor, whatever you want to say, provide advice, counsel, share my experiences. A lot of people hold me in a regard, and most people who are winners are competitive. It's just like who you are, right? You want to win, you want to beat everybody, because that's part of the competitive drive. But I think there's a comma there that needs to get put in, which is that you have to accept two things. One is that you are going to die and no one is going to remember. Like real. 10,000 years from now, no one's going to remember at all. Number two is that when you're at the end of your life, the people who are going to be by your bedside are not the people who you vanquished, but the people that you helped. I know that I've passed a lot of the mentors that I've had in my career in terms of financials, etc. Earlier on, used to think that made me better than them. As I've had a couple more years and some more scars, I've realized something different, which is that I was only able to get better than them because they gave me the head start. Step on my shoulder, you can reach that next branch. I think I experienced a lot of joy knowing that other people don't have to suffer as much. We were walking around outside yesterday and someone's like, dude, I did everything you have and we're doing $4 million a year now. Like, he was like emotional just knowing that it's happening. It makes stomaching the hard times easier. It feels like it's not just me trying to do this for myself, it's me trying to do this for a lot of people. If I'm failing over and over again at this thing, I know that once I figure it out, I'll be able to help 100 people cheat code their way through it and not spend 5 months figuring something out or 2 years figuring something out. Like, I was stuck at mid 30 million for 3 years. To everyone watching, they're like, boo hoo. That's not the point. Is that there's another guy who's gonna get to that point and he's gonna move right past it, like in a blink of an eye, because he'll have had the right advice that I didn't have. And I think that if the mentees and the mentors both see it that way, then the mentees will stop shitting on the mentors that help them, and the mentors will stop trying to hold back secrets that have propelled them further, because the point is not that you're gonna beat everyone. You're gonna get really old, and then you're gonna die. As you're getting older, there are gonna be people who are younger who had a head start. And as long as the next guy honors the fact that that guy died on the battlefield to give him these lessons and come back, and they have to recognize that they're going to die on the battlefield too for the next generation to pass them, they have it easier than us. That's the point of progress. And so rather than lamenting that the next generation has it easier, I thought that what we all say, I wanna make the world a better place, well, that's what making the world a better place looks like. We say that this is our mission with our business. We want to make the world a better place. We want to make an impact. And then when it actually happens, we resent the kids for the fact that they didn't have it as hard as us. That was the point. My point is not to beat the progeny. My point is to forge as far as I can, look back and be like, hey, watch out for that hole, watch out for that rock, keep going, keep going. They move through the path that we tread 3 times faster than we did because we already cleared all the trees. They get to the next non-clearing and they have to start hacking away and hacking away and hacking away to forge the next path. And then they become the mentors, turn around, and the next generation moves 6 times as fast to cover my distance and their distance. If you look at some of the greatest success stories, a lot of them talk about their mentors. Warren Buffett had his mentor early on. The quick story on that was that he said, I'll work for you for free, and Paul Graham told him, you're overpriced. He was the one who's going to be giving far more to this relationship. Even if Warren gave him his time, he still was going to be on the losing side, but he still did it anyways because he recognized that Warren had a gift. Warren passed him in his career. You'll notice that Warren isn't like, man, I'm so much better than Paul Graham. I passed that dude in my 40s. He doesn't talk like that. We really do stand on the shoulders of the giants. When I think about the gratitude that I have for the Gary V's who's 12 years older than I am, he's forged so much of this path that I didn't have to think about how am I gonna create this whole thing. It's like he already had a blueprint and I can just start laying that out, immediately execute. There are guys who we have in our portfolio right now who are in their 20s, who are making twice what I was making at 30. But if they came to me below and then now they're above, that was the point. Gary Vee didn't have Gary Vee to mentor him on his career. I do right now, we all do. Many of us will pass Gary, and I don't think Gary minds. There's a 20-year-old, it might be you, who's watching this, and you've got me. That's the point. I'm still gonna be hustling and trying to beat you. Don't get me wrong. When I see guys who are in their 60s, I'm like, man, by the time I'm 60, I'm gonna be 10 times as wealthy as them. 10 times the real estate, 10 times the, yeah. But if they had had themselves as mentors, they would too. If your mentees and the students that you have and the people that you help and the people that you teach don't move above you, it means that you're a bad teacher, not a good one. The new definition of success of a teacher is that the students surpass the teacher and then get to the point where they're both looking together with his experience and his raw talent, looking at the new landscape saying, all right, what do you think we should do? If this video changed your mind about some of the shit talking that you've done to a teacher or to a mentor who was earlier on in your career, shoot that guy a text and be like, hey, like, respect, I appreciate you. I can't tell you, one, how much it means to the mentor when they get that text. And I also think too, it'll help you spit out the poison that you had that wasn't real. It was only made up in your head. I think if you can do those things, this video would have been a success.